Oh, we're waiting on someone to finish the solo queue game.
Yes, we were.
They're like, all right, I'm done with my match. I gotta get in another game. No time
Yes.
to waste. The LP waits for no one.
Yes,
See, this tournament is getting in the way of their LP grind.
That's what I'm saying. It's getting in the way of my LP grind too. I could be trying to hit Plat 3. That's so important right now.
Oh my god, that's
Just
so high.
kidding. Do you know what's even more important than that? What, you may ask? Donating to a good cause. This is a shell out. If you guys have been enjoying the stream so far, please consider donating $5, $10, even $1 if you want to the Red Cross Foundation through our stream platform. We like to, connect schools from all across the country together and, try and play for a cause. I mean, what's better than doing something you love and raising awareness and funds for something that's incredibly important? So, yeah. And if you don't have, extra funds to spare yourself, you can always just drop a link in some Discords or text it to some people that you may know. Make a LinkedIn post if you're one of the corporate
LinkedIn
slaves like me. Okay, I'm sorry. That's my social media platform. That's where I live. But
I need to use it more.
Hey, I'm just saying I'm a LinkedIn pro. But yeah, so feel free to just share the link to the stream or the fundraiser, and just spreading the word is participating. So thank you.
We are getting right into the draft, however. We already see 3 bands out. We see Jin, Annie, and Nunu on red side, and we see Udyr, Talia, and Kalista on blue side. I just need to make sure it should be, if I'm not mistaken, it should be Oakland on blue side, and it should be Storm on red side. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's a great question. I
believe
forgot
that's
to check
right,
again.
because Oakland had... Yep, no, it is. It's Oakland versus Storm.
HU Storm is red.
Yeah.
Okay. I just know Ego is HU Storm, and Ego is on red team right now.
Yeah, and Wazek is Oakland, so...
There we go. Yeah.
The notes are pulled up. We got them back up on the side here.
But yeah,
fully
I'm super
drawn
excited
out
for this finals match.
in Microsoft Paint. It's all drawn out, so we're ready. Professional program.
Holy
Put it on your
cow.
resume. You can use Microsoft Paint.
Hey, that would be a great LinkedIn post.
Don't make me start using my LinkedIn more. I don't know, man. It's. You might need to give me some guidance on that. I don't use it enough. I'm a business major, but I don't use that stuff enough.
Always down to give a helpful C and TED talk about how to use LinkedIn. But yeah, so I see a Kalista ban. Definitely learned from last game here, not letting that slide through at all. Some pretty typical bans, I think. I mean, I feel like Udyr is really strong right now. Nunu is always annoying to have as a jungler. So are Annie and Jin in their respective lanes. Even Nautilus seems pretty standard to me.
Yeah, no, for sure. Nautilus is just a pretty free engage button, especially on an ADC. And Jinx is something you kind of want to lock down, just because the amount of damage she can get, especially when someone falls on your team and she gets that excited reset. She just starts to run away with that attack speed and move speed.
I feel like Aphelios is also really good right now.
Yeah, they're definitely 2 of the higher scaling teamfight ADCs for sure.
Another Hui coming out. Another Ivern coming out. So looks like they might be pulling out the Ivern support once more. I would love to actually be able to see it this time.
I'd love to see it too, because apparently it warranted a ban from the last team. So apparently it did something.
It did. And it's not like we ever got to see it. So hopefully everything will go well. Praying to the Riot gods. But yeah, Thresh Aphelios. Now that is going to be a very not fun lane to go into there.
Oh wait, we are seeing an Ivern jungle actually. I think, unless it's a machine gun Lulu, it could be a machine gun Lulu.
I don't know.
Probably not.
Having Braum
probably
as well.
not. Yeah, it's probably not machine gun Lulu. But I can hope. I can hope. We'll see the Braum, so that should be an Ivern jungle. So we will be seeing, Jinx Braum really good disengage. They don't really have the strongest engage right now on the side of Storm. So Brahm's honestly pretty solid in terms of doing that, especially because I think Jinx will outrange Aphelios on the majority of his guns. So
A set pick in the top lane for Oakland. My favorite. I love set. Okay, so I am looking forward to what build he ends up going because I feel like they have a lot of damage between the Jinx and the Hwei. But the Ivern and the Braum are lacking there. So I wonder if he'll go a little more beefy of a set or a little more just run around and absolutely decimate you.
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think the main core set builds right now are either you go the Strikebreaker Hullbreaker or you go into Bork instead. Even though Bork's a lot better for that early lane trading potential, but I think if you go the Strikebreaker build, you're a lot better for this team fight for this Hwei and Jinx. So that's probably what I expect from this top lane matchup. But honestly, it's a pretty nice top lane matchup. I think it's the first game tonight where we see two bruisers going at it. So it should be a lot of fighting and trading going on. We should see one top lane go on top of the other more through fighting than anything else.
Sorry.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this mid lane as well. Me personally, I hate both Syndra and Hwei simply for the amount of CC they have and their range. So I am very interested to see how that all works out. I feel like it's definitely going to be looking at some skill matchups and outplays there, as well as what the junglers do to support them.
Yeah, I think a lot of this game's just gonna be coming down to positioning too, because I feel like on the one hand, if Oakland's positioning really well, it's gonna be really hard for Storm to get onto them in these fights. They're gonna play around flash cooldowns. I feel majorly like Xin Zhao ultimate, being able to maybe knock people back with an insect with that ult, or just Aatrox. Maybe if he goes lethality, if he can get some kind of engage back on this Jinx Hwei, maybe get a Q2, Q3 flash and just delete them. Or maybe Syndra can catch a Jinx or Hwei that just went up a little too far and get that snipe out. Once she gets her splinters, once she gets that scaling, just delete some of the backline. Because once Jinx or Hwei falls, I feel like the fight gets a lot easier for Storm to take over, even if they're missing maybe 1 to 2 of their own players. So we'll definitely see how this position goes, and maybe Storm can force enough fights to get them out or garner enough lead. Because we did hear that they were going to most likely their plan was to go in and just beat them. Was what their plan was. Is beat them in the early game, beat them, just be better. So
Can't
we'll
fault
see if
that.
Oakland can call them out on that and be like, "Hey, you're not better. You got to play as a team." And we'll see that there. So, that is what Oakland does. That would be exciting to see. I believe on the predictions we have $20 in favor of Oakland for winning this finals, and no one else. So if anyone wants to donate and put anything towards that, now's your time. A little bit of charitable gambling.
Yeah, this is the game to be placing your bets per se, or at least showing your support to your team right now. So definitely, if you're considering donating any sort of money, go ahead and do it, and make sure to select your favorite team, which one you think is going to win out of these two, and see where that gets you. See if you were correct in that, or at least just show your team some love.
The people are asking for the cat once again.
Cat is... Where is he actually? When he wakes back up, he went to go take a nap. When he wakes back up, I'll go grab him. Or when we have some downtime before we switch over to our late night stream with Ashuria's, I can go grab Cat. But yeah, no, he loves the spotlight, so Lord knows he would absolutely love to be seen. So yeah.
The cat's somewhat of a diva. They like showing off. They like being on screen.
His name is Romeo, so he is in fact the
kid.
Casanova.
Yeah. Understood.
Yeah. But yeah. That
My
Ornn skin was so cute, by the way.
The worst game. Yeah, that Choo Choo Ornn?
Oh my
I
God.
need to buy it. It's like my most played tank.
Ornn, but it's so cute. Oh, it's my favorite.
4th Ornn skin in the game, and it's so good.
I'm sad we had a Rammus, but it wasn't the Darian skin. I love the April Fool's skins this year. I think they did a fantastic job. Would still like to see some like comical, like, we got Star Guardian Urgot, but some other in that same area of like still on skin line, but oh no.
Ooh, we're gonna see Xin Zhao getting caught out here. Oakland stacking and calling out this early jungle plays that they've been making in their previous games.
If I'm not
Ooh,
mistaken, HU Storm did that quite a couple times to their last competitors here. So getting a little bit of payback there.
I'll have to say also a little bit of interview irony because that Xin Zhao kid beats that was the person that said they would just dip them like that. And they're already the first one caught out. So
That's
let's say
true.
when they're
So
looking back, hopefully you pull us around. But there is vision on the early jungle. They have more information on where Oakland's jungle is going to be starting instead of there's information on where Storm's going to be starting. So they will have that information to play around. And that early vision is really strong for both knowing how safe your laners need to be at a given moment, as well as how their jungler can play around. And, you know, if they see any kind of early play going on, they know exactly what they can invade or what they can go for without any risk of the enemy jungler answering. Yeah, here we'll see
bruises
those
are bruising.
early bruiser fighting right here. But we do see that Set does
Oh,
have
looks
that
like they're going
passive.
for it.
They're going down. We're I don't know.
No ignite.
I'm not seeing these hand checks. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, there is no ignite in this matchup. Both went for TP, so there is no first blood to have immediately. But we'll see
It's
Xin Zhao
definitely
going
not a
in for
rank
that
game.
invade. I would have died twice top lane if it were a ranked game. So I understand.
both of the laners would have taken ignite if there was a rank game.
Already
Jinx
type
is
into
gonna
my
get
jungler.
caught.
We do see the cleanse coming out from the Jinx off the Thresh hook. We see Aphelios going in for the guns on the Braum. That is quite a bit of damage. They got that early level 2, and they will take advantage of it. But we do see Ivern fighting the Xin Zhao in this jungle, but Xin Zhao does have, no, actually, they're tied on XP, but
Oh,
will they running for it? They forced the flash from the Hui QW. Set is in the area, but will they be able to get out in time? Oh, the fear comes out before the flash, but the Ivern root does come out. They do manage to catch up once again. Oakland is showing that they are not going to be taken down as easily as Storm was taking. We do see the Syndra getting the poke, and Hui does not get the finish
oh,
off on
she
the
makes it.
Syndra. So Syndra did manage to salvage that play just barely, but she will have to burn her TP for it, and Hui might have an advantage in
Only
terms of
5
resources.
flashes there. Only.
Only 5? Yeah, well, we need to see
Only
all
5.
10.
We're getting there. Yeah, so that'll be quite a bit when a ton of flashes are going to be coming up here, and they're probably going to start looking for some team fights around some objectives around that same time. So it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, this might or the flashes should be up at around, I'd say, 6-7 minutes. So we actually might see the Guppies and the first strike fall before those flashes come back into play. But we'll see the Iron Gate coming in the bot lane. We do see the Braum stun coming out, barely hitting the Phyllis. The exhaust comes out. They're rooted by the Jinx traps, and that is a kill over to the Jinx. Well, Braum does follow the turret, but that is a kill over to the Thresh. Not much use you get out of that gold onto the Thresh, but hey, at least that's some gold back to your team. But we will see Aphelios losing out on some waves as they get picked up there, and Jinx picking up a kill is really, really good on the side of Oakland. They're getting their carries, the kills they want to start out this game.
Let's go ahead and look at what the scores are looking like right now in the CS count. So, yeah, I mean, things are still relatively even here. I'd say top lane is definitely going to be causing that early game gold disadvantage for HU Storm. Just because Set has those 2 kills up on the jungler, but otherwise relatively even here.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely going to be a slow burn in the top lane just because Set's already got this 2-kill lead. And we also see Jinx in this bot lane lead. There's no current strong lead. There's a little bit of strength in the mid lane in favor of the Storm, so they might make some more plays off the Syndra. But right now, it is a little bit more ebbed in the favor of Oakland in this game right now, I'd say.
This Thresh does not miss.
Also see a dive going off the way, but Hui gets the fear, the QW, that's turret shots coming out. That oh my god. Kid Beats has been living just barely in so many of these plays. The health bar has been so low so many times.
What is Aphelios doing? He's going for a roam?
Ooh, ADC roam at 5 minutes. You do not see this often.
And he's going to pick up a kill from it.
Oh yeah, pick off on the mid laner. Very well played by Mikhail on the Aphelios. As Ivern immediately abandoned that play and is running towards the top lane, looking for this dive off of the level 6 that the Set has garnered. They're in the area. We see it running away, forced to flash the Ivern route. But now they're being proxied off the wave, trapped at level 5, cannot get to level 6 because they cannot get any XP. As Set looks to get something off of this play. But Xin Zhao is here to do something, still level 3. But Iron is still in the area looking to make some kind of play off of this. And, that set W can do quite a lot in one of these fights. We'll see the Avager coming out. That's a pick off onto the Aatrox. Xin Zhao can't really do much with both of those two together. We do see the set W coming out, though, so that is some durability
Cinder's
gone.
coming up too.
Cinder's in the area. We do
Oh.
see the set pile driver come out, and they will fall because they use the W on the wave. Common mistake that you'll see a lot of sets do is just Wing wave when there's still some threat to be had because that removes their fighting power, and that is actually a turnover. Double kill to the Xin Zhao after that play. Very unfortunate. And we see another cleanse out coming in the bot lane as Thresh looks for the engage on Jinx, but Jinx gets some poke back. But she is out of mana. Aphelios is also very low mana. And Aphelios is looking to crash this wave and get this reset. And or potentially a dive, but it is a little dicey given it's only a 2v2. It's early game and they don't have any jungler support to look for this dive.
With that top lane play, HU Storm is actually ahead in gold now. Really working to get Kid Beats back in the game here with that double.
Yeah, no, definitely. It felt like Oakland was going to have good control of this game, but after that play, it definitely looks like it's a bit more even of a game once again.
Aatrox does manage to get ult this time.
Aatrox at the 6, trying to crash a wave, Set doing everything they can to hold it. Ivern in the area once again, trying to harass his Aatrox. We can't quite do much off of it. Xin Zhao chose to get one Guppy and then back off. We'll see more fighting in the bot lane as they get another stun off on the Thresh. Can't quite get the Thresh off as he flashes away out of Jinx's range. So they can't get that reset, get that excited, and try to run on the Aphelios, which I believe they're looking to do if they manage to get that pick off.
Looks like a general reset going on across the board right now. Moment to breathe. Feel like there's been a lot of action so far.
Yeah, these two teams have been pretty high action. I think in all their semifinals, they just had a lot of fights that they played and just nonstop action. I felt like you just couldn't stop speaking because something was always happening on the screen.
Yeah, and these objectives are up, so interested to see what people start to go for first. It's like Ivern might think about hovering. Oh, Zin is going for I don't even know what it's called. Grubs, that thing. But bot lane's about to be in trouble here.
Yeah, we see Syndra moving down on the Jinx Braum. Braum is really strong into Syndra and is able to block a lot of this damage when he uses his E, which is really strong against her Execute as well for keeping Jinx alive, which makes Braum such a strong pick into this game. But we will see Xin Zhao grabbing these Guppies, and we see a 2v2 going on in the top jungle. We do see Set grabbing the Xin Zhao pile driver, getting into the bush. Shidan going to the Hui, who snipes that from half a screen away.
Oh.
As we see this bot lane, both bot lane duos just want to fight so much, but they can never get anything lethal. And we see Aatrox, trying to get what he can back after that fight. But this Set Ivern combination just really, really strong and just showing a lot of oppression in these top side fights the early game. Definitely a focus on Set as a strong side this game, as they trust that the Braum Jinx can be pretty safe this game. We'll see Daisy in play, coming out, diving this turret. Such a disgusting dive tool as Aatrox is using World Ender, try to stay alive. But we'll see Set, stunned just long enough not to be able to finish off the Aatrox. And Syndra once again saving the top lane.
Wow.
Duckman and PH really holding the top side of the map together. Just really good on these rotations, getting these punishes for these aggressive plays that Oakland has been making. Definitely feels like they're just off of getting exactly what they want, and then Syndra's here to basically snuff them out every time they're going for something.
HU is definitely working overtime to make sure their teammates aren't falling behind, and it's really paid off for them so far. So interested to see if they can keep up the momentum here, or if Oakland will start to actually respond to that.
Yeah, we did see Hui almost get off that solo pick on the Syndra, but Xin was there to help secure that. But I believe Syndra was out either way. We'll see the set going once again for these trades. As we see Ivern helping Hui get this reset in the mid wave, and another skirmish going off in the bot lane. As this Thresh and Braum really just do not let the enemy ADC get anything off on the other ADC. Really good defensive characters. Honestly, I love having these guys on my team. Always feels like a very nice time, especially for your squishies, because it's such a dedicated peel champions on both sides. It's a lot easier to play these team fights and safeties. We just see the insta cleanse coming out from Jinx. Aphelios ult coming out, landing on the Braum. Not quite who you want to hit. We will see some damage traded back, and I think every ult landed in that bot lane. We see Xin Zhao ganking the mid lane on the way once again. Syndra is there, and that should be a pick over to Kid Beats in the mid lane. Xin Zhao getting another pick on this wave. This wave has been pretty aggressive in this lane so far, and might need to dial back a little bit just to play a little safer in this lane.
Ooh, minion saves Braum.
Yeah, we see both ADCs below half health, and we see both junglers moving into the area to try to make a play happen here. Syndra as well moving down as well, so we'll see a lot of action going on soon. And
Ooh.
Jinx is really low mana, low resources. The engage does happen. I feel like it's barely any HP, but we see Syndra coming in. Braum is really low. Syndra ult comes out. Jinx is picked off by the Thresh. We do see Daisy doing as much damage as they can to Syndra, but it's just not enough as the Braum and Ivern are held very low in the turret as Daisy is slowly taken out. And they need to back off this turret so they don't give any more kills over to Storm in this early game.
Where's walking down though, so he might be able to pick up some kills here at the very end of this fight.
Yeah, we do
If
see
he can
Syndra
shut
getting
down the
that R
Syndra,
off. Ooh, can't quite land the root onto the Syndra there. The Thresh will flash, land the
Ooh.
Q. That's going to be a pick on the way. Very unfortunate. Ooh, Jinx Rocket also barely goes wide and misses the Syndra. That actually would have been huge for Jinx there. I feel like she could have ran down all three of them if that connected.
I
Quite
definitely
unfortunate,
agree.
but they will get the push in. Aphelios is heading back to the bot lane. We will see resets going on the map. As first drag still has not been taken by either team. Just a lot of early action in this game. But it's starting to go a lot more in favor of Storm as they've just taken control of this early mid game. And just punishing a lot of the greed from Oakland as they've taken these early fights.
Part 2 of Grubs is up, so Ivern does look to be hovering here to try and, you know, recover what was lost the first time. Does show just to support Set here.
Definitely just a threat of Ivern gets the map. But we do see the Thresh hook landing once again in the bot lane, and Jinx just being poked out. But Braum is here, and the full stacks onto the Aphelios as he's stunned. He cannot move, and that is a pick off onto the Jinx. Very well done. It first looked really strong for Storm there, but Braum just turned the fight over and got the CC out, and Aphelios and Thresh was just moved too far away to do anything else to peel for this fight. And now Jinx gets some kind of lead, and a fed Jinx gets very scary when she gets her third item on current patch, and she can just start to dominate games when you can't get on her as easily as you want to. We'll see the remainder of the Guppies are going over to Xin Zhao, so that I believe is 6 in favor of the Storm. So any split pressure they do get will be very strong, but I don't feel like they have many good split push champions, so it will mostly be down to their siege, and when they team fight push, they'll just have a little faster push when they go for these turrets.
I'd agree, although I think, with how strong Syndra is, Aatrox very well might be able to split push, especially because of that TP that he took.
Oh, for sure. He has the ability to go inside lanes. But he's definitely not one of those characters that deletes turrets as much as you see maybe a Yorick or a Chunt will do. But
Very
having the
fair.
option is always good because you can try to split up
Oh.
their team and remove that peel from the Jinx. But we'll see Jinx kind of held in lane a little longer than she'd like to be. And he's getting a little bit of value on this turret harass as they try to poke Jinx from behind this Braum. But they can't quite find the angle, but she also cannot farm this turret as Ivern is trying to come down to alleviate some pressure.
Ivern is able to pick up that dragon objective, though.
Yeah, the first dragon falling over, and Infernal Drake as well falling over to the favor of Oakland does give that a little bit of extra damage that may just be an auto's worth of damage in a fight that might turn some fights in the early game over. But as we will see, we'll have a second dragon coming up, and then we'll figure out what kind of soul will be in the game. I don't believe any team has gotten soul today from semifinals to finals. So I wonder if we'll actually see one in one of these games to come.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Well, we'll see a pod drive going on in the Aatrox. Aatrox is very low. Set going for this kill. We'll get the W out.
Ooh!
W flash onto the Aatrox. Predicted that flash or reacted very quickly. Either or, but they do manage to snipe out that Aatrox. But we'll see Syndra going in for the all-in on this way. Doesn't do quite enough damage yet. Does not have that execute. We'll see Jinx going in onto this Thresh. The glacial barrier coming out from Braum. Didn't do as much. Ivern ganking from the lane. But it does look like Aphelios and Thresh should be out. Ghosting away, running away. It will do much as Hui is being dove by Zinja. Does get the fear right as the turret takes aggro on. And ooh! Hui almost scoops the kill, but I believe dies to red buff burn there. That's unfortunate.
Turret was not loving him today. Unfortunately.
We'll see a dive coming out in the bot lane as Thresh tries to get Aphelios out. We'll see the hook coming in the Jinx. Insta-cleansed by the Jinx. We do see Jinx barely getting the kill. Aatrox is here, but he does not have the way. He doesn't have the flash to get on this Jinx. She will auto with so little HP from far away. But Syndra is also here. Everyone's in the bot lane. Everyone is here. As we see Set get the W off on the Aatrox, being ran down by Zen Jeff, but they're cutting backwards. You're cutting backwards into a Braum, into a Jinx. Very difficult, but we do see his ult keeping him alive. Jinx can't do damage. And ooh, Syndra with a double snipe on the Jinx Ivern. Very well played. Syndra really the MVP of this match. He's turning
Boy,
all
just
these
a
fights
little,
in the
little
favor of
late.
Storm. Quite unfortunate, but that is all 5 in the bot lane at 15 minutes.
That's insane.
I swear I didn't see this since season 9. Once they changed teleport, you never saw anyone down here anymore.
It's, nothing will stop anybody at this point. But yeah, I wonder how much time is left on the Rift Herald. Probably a while still. So I wonder if he'll be looking to save it for a little later or try to get some early towers here.
The Rift Herald should be up by now, I believe. And they have just like 3.5 minutes to grab that Rift Herald before Baron spawns and denies that anymore. But it could be an option to open up a little more of the base.
Yeah, Zin picked it up.
Oh, he did. That's why I don't see it.
During the no, you're good. He picked it up during the last couple skirmishes before everybody showed up bot lane. When Ivern was using Daisy, I think, and bot got out.
Yeah, I completely missed that.
And here's that Aatrox splitting in a side lane, forcing Set to kind of respond to that. As best as he can. Again, not like the most amount of push power in the entire world, but just that little bit. It is forcing Oakland to continue to move back to their inner.
That definitely wastes that time. They are getting actually a lot of use of these guppies, just grabbing at these tier 1 turrets pretty freely. As Oakland's just kind of spread apart, and their team definitely doesn't want to be moved that far apart. Having the Ivern, having the Braum, having the Jinx, having the Hui, they all want to be grouped as much as possible. So using that split pressure is really good on the side of Storm. So we'll see Ivern being grabbed out here as Aphelios has 6 chakrams going in.
Ooh.
This Ivern grabbed out, Hui doing what they can. We do see Braum getting the Q off, but we do see Thresh Lantern ready to get Aphelios out of 6 situation. Aatrox W getting in, doesn't quite pull the Braum, but the Thresh Hook does land, and Braum does fall as well, as now the backline has no one to hold the front, as Set is coming in from the side. But it may be a little dicey to do anything now, given all that's gone. They still have Syndra ult to snipe out one of these backlines. We see Thresh trying to get in the side, but Thresh Hook blocking the way, and Set trying to do what he can. Being harassed by the Aatrox, being harassed by Syndra. He does have W, but only gets a measly amount of damage from the physical side of the hitbox and gets executed by Syndra, just completely decimated. Ooh, this mid game's starting to look really good for the Storm as they just tear apart Oakland.
We do see missing the top turret.
The Tokyo Drift Rift Herald.
Where is
trying to get those sharp angles onto turrets, but can't quite land it.
He was able to still get it in top lane though, which I think is ultimately his goal. But driver's license may need to be revoked because it does not get to get a big hit off there.
And we do see Braum going for some harass. Jinx and Hui are close by, but I don't think they can get the lockdown onto the Xin Zhao. As his blue pet does give him some speed to just run out of that bush and be safe there. It will be interesting to see how Oakland tries to, pull back this game. They do have a drag advantage, but they are down a decent amount of gold. We do see Set walking to the Aphelios Thresh, but they don't quite land the hook, and Set does get to walk away. Pretty beefy champion, so they are pretty safe. We'll see the slow coming out from Purple Gun on Aphelios. But Set is not going to be locked down, as Syndra is becoming the big split pusher of this game, using the AP damage on those turrets, using those guppies, and just trying to poke at these tier 2s. Catching people out solo. She does have a lot of solo pick potential, so she is pretty good at doing this, all things being considered. She can cut out the Set. She can one-shot the Hui, one-shot the Jinx as the game gets later. And Braum and Ivern really are never going to be fighting anything solo, so they will not be answering her either. We'll see a collapse looks like is being performed on the Hui, as well as they might be looking at the Aatrox as well on the top side. Ivern will be fighting Xin Zhao in the jungle. We'll see the stuns going out. And we will see Hui getting almost one shot by the Xin Zhao. Not quite enough damage to do it yet. But Ivern will be ran down by Xin Zhao. Jinx is here. So is Braum to try to lock down this Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao does get the pick off on the Ivern, but his challenge is keeping it, so she can't do long range damage. We'll try to get the damage out on the Jinx. Doesn't quite get it, but Aphelios ult is here. And they are going for the dive. Braum covering perfectly with the shield. But now Syndra's TPing into the mid lane. They don't quite have the
Oh,
finish off to get the Zinja out as the
misses that.
Jinx rocket barely misses.
I'm actually on the edge of my seat for some of this because even though HU Storm is up, I can still see Oakland having that potential to come back, especially picking up those shutdowns.
Yeah, getting the shutdowns, especially on Jinx, could turn the game heavily in the favor. And I've seen it many times before where Jinx just gets 1 to 2 crucial picks and the game just immediately goes in their favor. And it's really, really defeating to see that happen when you're ahead for so long, but one rocket or just one team fight misposition, and you get this excited Jinx that just runs down your entire team. It's a very, very strong pick in the current season. Why you see contested as a first pick so often. But we will see Chemtech Drake as a Dragon play. Not really an interesting soul to be seeing. One of the least impactful souls in the game, I believe, right now. But
I
the
think you're
individual
right, too.
dragons aren't the worst to have. Tenacity and heal and shield power are the worst thing to have. And you get 3 of those, you will be pretty tanky, and CC will be pretty minimal. But we'll see a Baron coming out immediately from Storm as they see Set in the bot lane. And Ivern being zoned off by this Aatrox. They do so much damage with the Aphelios. Syndra Aatrox going in, getting a snipe off on the Ivern. There is no smite to contest this. Hui doing what damage they can to turn back, but that Baron will fall in favor of Oakland as Set gets some side lane pressure. There is Aatrox CP 2 answer, so he should not be able to get much. And that Baron will add a lot more to the siege power. Baron plus 6 guppies will be a lot of turret taking power in favor of Storm.
I think Cassette did have his TP there, but he was waiting to see if they could try to actually fight rather than get picked out. Looks like he's TPing now, kind of believing in this fight here.
Yeah, I definitely think they're not confident in fighting in the 5v5 right now, so they didn't really want to contest that Baron and try to get something in the side lane, but the waves were just too pushed in. Set couldn't really secure anything in the side lane. And with this TP2 now, there's not much to secure in this fight. They can't lock anyone down. They can't what they get, but Set looks like they are being collapsed here by the Syndra. The stun does come out. They're being poked at. Almost full grit. Full grit does come out. Set is grabbed. Can they get any of this damage off? They cannot find an angle to W. We see Zinja diving in onto this
Wow.
backline, almost sniping the Jinx with that damage. That is insane.
That ult was insane. I think it hit everyone except for one person that he went on. So he really just broke up their entire backline there.
Yeah, that challenge is really good at isolating single targets too, because the person you challenge doesn't get moved, but everyone else does. So you basically just choose one target to isolate and try to pick out while everyone is pushed away, CC'd, and too far away to help their ally. But
And
we'll
the more
see the
you know.
siege. Once again, a Thresh Hook lands like max range on the Jinx, forcing an insta cleanse. But this turret does fall to the Baron and Guppies as they try to kite back. Braum is pretty tanky, all things considered. And Jinx is trying to do what rocket she can, get the stun off on the Thresh. Will they have the damage? We do see the whale coming at the pile jabber into 3 of them. That is a massive combo. Oh my god. As we see the 3 of them fall in the top lane as they try to collapse these other lanes. But Syndra and Aatrox, we're pushing the side lanes. They do get some really good picks with this team fight. Syndra is forced to flash. She is low mana. But there's nothing currently on the map for Oakland to take. Hopefully they can start taking some turrets in the mid lane. Maybe start turning this game around. But that is what we're talking about. One good team fight, one good angle. The Set ulting the Hui ult into the entire team. Really good synergy. Never didn't really think about that interaction until just now, and honestly showing why Set is a good pick with the Hui, because you can ult the front line and then move that ult into the back line.
That was insane synergy. That is something I've been waiting for this game, to see that big Hui ult come out and just the rest of his team capitalize on that.
For sure. But sadly, all they really can get there is some shutdowns. They do get a little bit gold back in their favor, but there still is an 8k gold gap. They literally got the one mid lane turret off that. They do get some pressure back on the map. They didn't lose any inhibitors, so they're not held in their base quite yet. That is most of the Barons gone from the side of the Storm, so maybe this will give some breathing room for Oakland to get back in the game. Because we should see Jinx starting to get around her second or third item at this point. So she'll be a lot stronger in these fights to come. Yeah, she's halfway towards her Infinity Edge at this point. About tied up with Aphelios. Pretty sure. We'll see a fight going on for this mid inhibitor turret. It is very low. One person can dive and auto that like 2 times and it should fall. But with that many people there, it'd be very hard to just walk up and do that. As both teams are poking out. Hui and Jinx range kind of showing the strength here as they're getting a little bit of chip damage off onto Storm. But no one's really looking to start a fight as Aatrox starts to try to get the side lane in, wait for waves to get pushed up, and try to play up this tempo of the split. Oakland will want to look for a fight before this Aatrox is able to get this pressure on. Otherwise, they will have to give up something. We see Set trying to go into the flash ult, getting onto the backline, gets the stun, gets almost all of it's what almost one shots the Syndra. We see Aatrox TP coming in. We see Jinx push back in the backline. We see Set in the middle, just tanking so much damage. Hui ult coming out, doing as much damage as they can. Aatrox did manage to snipe the Jinx off screen. However, and Set will be falling pretty soon. Hui doing what damage they can, but it's just too much as Aatrox gets his reset once again. Iron's really low. Hui's full health, but he cannot survive this many people on top. And that may just be game. Wave is
Wow.
pushing in. All of
Just when I
Oakland is
thought,
dead.
just when I thought Oakland was, just about to wipe at least 4 of their teammates, Aatrox comes in and really proves that he has been here the whole time, even if he has been splitting, as much as he can. But yep, that's game here.
Yeah, it definitely sucks to see that Aatrox fight go off screen because I wonder what went wrong. I feel like if they were able to effectively peel the Jinx, that fight would have gone a bit better. But maybe he was able to get some kind of Q flash and delete this Jinx really quickly. Because I did see Hui kind of stepped up with the set rather than being back behind with the Jinx, which might have been a little bit of a misplay and kind of might have cost them the game if they weren't able to keep this Aatrox off of that Jinx and play this peel so that they could keep their carry in the game and get some resets for this fight. But that is game 1 in favor of the Storm.
Very exciting so far. Saw some great plays from the set that game, I think. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased, I swear. But, diving that Aatrox top, predicting his flashes, making sure Hui's ults land, even that engage in the mid lane that ultimately HU Storm played off of, not really giving up until the end. So, but yeah, I mean, even though HU Storm had a little bit of a rough start at the beginning, it seems like Kid Beats his theory for how to win the finals match of League is going well so far.
Yeah, definitely felt like they did a lot of outplays, but I definitely feel like a lot of that came down to actually their mid laner. Funny enough, their lowest ranked player on their team was doing a lot of the carrying in that game. I felt they were doing a lot of punishing on the plays that Oakland was going for, and just really just keeping a check on these players as they try to bully this top lane, try to bully this bot lane, and just really impressive stuff.
Seems like Oakland is going to be blue side again here. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. Oh my goodness.
We're seeing here now too. You too, if you are a D1 player, can fight a challenger and win. As we see Duckman do, just putting up. Honestly, those Syndra plays were really good. Just really good shutdowns, really good use of range, and really good target focus. I have to say, MVP definitely for that game. I feel for the Storm was definitely Duckman. And yeah, MVP I'd also agree is probably the set for Oakland that game. A lot of good plays, really good harassing the lane, and just generally was a pretty good anchor in a lot of these fights.
For sure. I think Syndra's roams definitely changed that early game there. And, Syndra is a very high damage carry APC mid, but, just being present in that early game, again, gave her team the support that they needed in order to be able to turn that around.
Yeah, very exciting, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see something turn in the favor of Oakland in the next game. Definitely felt like they were able to fight the early game very well, but I think in the mid game there's just a little bit of a little bit of greed. Maybe if they pull themselves back, play a little more in check, they won't have as explosive of a game and might be able to take better control.
For sure. And Skarner is still banned for this, so we won't have to worry for some people or look forward to seeing that new Skarner rework in action with these teams today. But feel like I see that in plenty of my ranked games already. So personally, I'm fine with it.
I'm just saying, if they want to handshake it, I'm sure we could work something out. Maybe it'd be nice to see a Skarner game if we get to a game 3. This is best of 3 or best of 5? I'm not quite. I don't think I've gotten that information.
Talia ban, another Jhin ban. So looking pretty much the same so far. Maybe if my headset stopped cutting out, I could be a little more engaging. But we're doing our best out here right now.
We haven't heard you for like a full, I think, 10 minutes now. Is your headset doing fine? I kid. But as we go in, though, we'll see pretty conventional bans, as you said. pretty similar before. I don't think there's anything that they are currently afraid of from that last game. I don't think either team was too afraid of any pick per se, but I think it might have been more of a they just felt the execution was a lot of the issues in that game. So there might not be much difference, but we do see them grabbing blue side again and grabbing this Jinx pick. They think it's dominant. They think it's strong. I agree. I think it's one of the best 86. Oh,
Oh,
nope. They're going. Ooh, the Varus is open. That is true.
well, if
But
I'm not mistaken, is this the same person who played Varus in that game earlier? Cannot
the
remember.
double poke lane.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember.
I know.
I
I'm
think
trying
so.
to remember too.
I think so.
I feel like I've been seeing the same three champions. The same Aphelios, Jinx, Varus. That's it.
They're pretty dominant. Aphelios is really good if you're really good at that character.
Don't forget the Ashe.
Jinx is
Sorry.
dominant. Ashe is a good answer into Jinx, as well as Varus. And Varus is just like I think the safest blind pick ADC because depending on your build, there isn't really a bad Varus matchup.
Viego and Volibear coming out. Both of those definitely strong contenders this season for sure. I think both of them are like S tier right now.
And Viego has really good synergy with Jinx too because they're both reset champions. So, and you get a pick off the Jinx, she gets excited, and Viego gets a possession, and it just snowballs the fight out like crazy.
And Orianna, oh, I haven't seen one in so long.
Team play staple. Here she shows up again.
I love Orianna.
We'll never be free of her in team play.
I hope we see some very cool Orianna ults coming out. Probably still that same Syndra player. So very excited to see that. A little bit of a different play style for her. Still obviously looking for picks, but ultimately looking for that big AoE ult rather than that single target.
Yeah, we will see the
Thresh
Renekton and
ban.
Thresh coming out. Jinx was not dodging those Thresh hooks, so I understand it's kind of a little bit of a respect ban. It's like, hey, they land these hooks. Let's get rid of that.
I mean, he did great. He barely ever missed a hook. If he did, usually he still hit a minion or something. So, very, very good Thresh. But oh,
no,
go
do
back
the
to
Rakan
Camille. Go
Orianna.
back to Camille.
I want the Rakan. I want the Rakan.
Yeah! Oh my goodness!
Rakan Orianna. Ball Delivery Company, Rakan Incorporated, is here, ready to run in with that charm, with that grand entrance, and get that shockwave for the entire team. A very strong engage. This is honestly, I feel like it's gonna be a little hard. I think you need to get a really good disengage out. I wouldn't hate to see, honestly, a Poppy here. Poppy in the top lane, maybe in the support lane. Could be really strong, but we'll see the Lulu. A good way to go as well. Really strong disengage. Can keep Jinx alive in these fights. Can keep Viego alive if she so chooses. Makes it a lot harder to play around.
That team fight potential on red team right now is insane.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to get that Orianna ult and Volibear ult. Rakan. It's gonna be difficult. I'm gonna say like they're gonna need to get an early lead for Oakland if they want to close out this game. And the Camille looks like it's gonna be the top lane, but Camille nonetheless.
Still got Camille.
I did not want to see
Unless
that
it's Rakan
Camille
top.
support. Hey, I've done it. I've done it.
Man, that doesn't mean I played Soraka top. You think
I've done well with it. Sorry.
Machine gun. Whoa. I stole a dragon today on stream, might I add, as Soraka. Thank you.
Show the clip?
I would, but nobody was awake between the hours of 8 and 12, so it's in there though.
Didn't happen. Then it didn't happen.
Whoa. I'm posting it later. But yeah, I think this Lulu was a really good pick. You know, with all of that team fight potential, they're really going to be able to, again, keep that Jinx and that Hui alive. And then Viego and Set are going to be able to go ham on their back line. So if they can reach it, they have a decent amount of peel still.
My only concern with the Lulu is if they get both Jinx and Lulu with one of these engages, it's going to be a lost fight almost immediately. I feel like, this Lulu's going to have to play kind of away from the Jinx, but just enough in range to, get these shields off, kind of use Jinx as bait for these engages and keep her alive. Or vice versa, because I feel like if Lulu gets picked out or Jinx gets picked out and they still have these engages and Shockwave, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to pilot these fights. However, they do once again have the range advantage, so they might be able to play a bit more poke and force these engages, force something sloppy from Storm, and be able to close out this game. But we shall see how this game goes.
If this Lulu is really good, what is really good about that is if there is an engager that gets fed, whether that's Camille, Volibear, or if Rakan is just constantly on them, then she's going to be able to use her polymorph to pretty much negate their engage there, especially if they're not like really ready for a team fight. And then again, Viego and Set can go ham on their back line. Jinx will end up getting that early pick on whoever decides to go in and gets, polymorphed. But if more than one person goes in at the same time, I am a little nervous for them. So just have
I'm
to
just
see.
saying, Oakland, because they do these freaky support junglers, right? You send Viego support and you pick Poppy jungle. I think this game's really good for them. You get some early fighting in the bot lane when you have the Poppy W for Volibear Q, Camille engage. They didn't pick Camille yet, but then the Rakan engage makes it very hard for Storm to find an angle, but gives you that aggression that you would want.
I have an alternative answer. Viego jungle, Poppy top, Set support with the Jinx.
You could also do that.
I don't know. I haven't seen Viego support before.
I have. I know like one person who does it. But you have to force a pretty early fight. But knowing the matchup, I don't think it'd be the hardest one to do. It's a similar energy to Camille support. Not as strong, but just different ways you could think about the draft. You want to be a little spicy because this has been a team that's been somewhat spicy with their support picks before, as we saw with the Ivern support.
Yeah,
but
their front line for HU Storm is definitely looking a little more beefy than Oakland's right now, though.
But all Oakland needs to do is really pick off one person to start a fight. So we'll have to see.
I think my bet right now is on HU Storm just from champion select alone. So we'll have to see how this plays out.
I think definitely, yeah, a calm game goes in favor of Storm. I think a more aggressive game can kind of go more in favor of Oakland. I think, if they pick off, especially Camille or Volibear, maybe even Rakan, if they pick them off in this early fight, View gets that possession, Jinx gets that reset, then now you have a Camille that can help engage a reset Jinx, and it's going to be very, very difficult to pilot these fights for Storm. But
right,
we load in now. Oh man, you can see so much.
It is somewhat helpful occasionally, but it's fine. If only I jungled.
Can always start.
Oh, I don't know about that. Okay, we have a bush cheese.
We do see them stacking once again. We do see the concern. They're pinging the bush that they stacked last time.
The fear.
But they do push in, get some topside vision. They probably assume there's going to be stack in this bot side. A lot of aggressive warding everywhere but where they are.
Yeah, I think I noticed that last game because that's something I noticed. But I really did like HU Storm's warding last game. They constantly had awareness on every single person on Oakland's team just because they had so many deep wards. Like even if
their vision control is
pressuring bot lane,
phenomenal.
yeah, no, their vision control is definitely insane there. But those early game plays, I think Oakland has been better so far, even though HU Storm has that vision control. So, pick your poison. Oh, my favorite Rakan skin.
It's a very nice one. I know a lot of people, myself included, tend to prefer using the IG one, but it is definitely still a very nice skin. The fact that Rakan got 2 pro play skins is a very, very nice spoiling thing to have as a Rakan player whenever you play that champion.
I think it's very telling about how good his character is as well.
Yeah, no, I think ever since he came out, he's just been in pro play ever since. He does a little bit of everything.
Just constant skirmishing going on in the map, and both junglers playing in their own jungle this time. We'll see how long that will take to change.
And for once, we won't see Kid Beats going into the topside jungle immediately in the game. We'll see an
Well,
early play
are you sure?
looking top lane. Oh, wait, here they go. Is it going to be a split map once again? Viego is a little late on the clear, as Volibear does have a decently faster clear. And we do see the blue buff going into favor of Kid Beats here.
Viego is going to get a nasty surprise going up to this bear right here.
It does look like the blue buff is
Loses
already
his
taken by
blue.
Kid's Beats as well. They're running over towards their Hui. But is the stun gone from the Volibear? They do land it on the Volibear. We'll see which character just does better in the early game, but we'll see the shield coming out from the Volibear. Cutting towards the set, but that W is stacked, pressed once. We'll see Volibear going in, gets the stun up, but set does manage to grab. You see the flash coming out because the Camille engage. You see the set W coming out, doesn't quite connect. There's a flash to avoid it, as they're both hidden under turret. Don't think they're low enough to be dove, but definitely a lot of pressure going in, and I think Shaggy's gonna have to give up a lot of this topside jungle.
Seems like he's going back for Gromp here. Volibear's still in the area though.
He
Hui,
is
oh,
on
they
vision.
definitely have that vision on the bear right now. Hui is gonna, oh, good flash.
Ooh,
He
caught
just
him
cannot get out though.
on the ward. Kids Beats once again is the first blood being taken over by Oakland.
Yeah, we did see last game though that even if he does give first blood, they definitely have the potential to come back around and you know, still be a menace here for the rest of the team in the back line. So could still turn the tide.
Yeah, and we do see both the mid and top TPing back onto the map after having that jungle rotation, get that pressure back in their lanes. We do see double buff on set as well, which is going to make it a little harder for this Camille to lane into the matchup, just because that sustain, that extra damage, and the extra ability haste just makes it a little harder to play these matchups. So we'll see that early W coming out, just getting that poke damage off, then Camille needs to back away no matter what. And Viego getting back to their bot side clear. Game pace is slowing down a little bit as we wait for the timers to be up for the first wave of Guppies and Dragon. So we can give it just a little minute as we get into the next one.
Volley is looking to just ward up Viego's bot side jungle. Kind of seems like he's looking for him to go for another fight here, even though his bot lane is kind of pushed in.
We do have the Jinx reset right now, trying to contest this vision, contest this control ward that Volibear is trying to get. They're able to grab the ward. Rakan is looking. We see Volibear dashing in, but they're not quite able to get onto the Jinx Lulu combo. Really just trying to get something aggressive going, but it did cost a little bit of tempo as Viego did get a little bit of a farm advantage in that time. And is here in the top side, maybe able to look for a dive on this Camille.
He is trading Dragon for it though. So I wonder if he is aware that, you know, he is actively trying to do that. I did see a blue missing ping there. So very possible that he's aware that he's trying to trade this kill for that drag. But Camille gets out anyways.
When it gets out, she will have to sack a bit away, but she does have TP to get back and not lose too much. She said actually might stop this recall just in time.
Oh.
Ooh, a little bit out of range. A little unfortunate. We'll see Camille TPing back as Viego is looking to go in these grubs, but Volibear is here. Set is low, 6, but low. It'll be hard to find quite what they need. Viego's here, but Orianna is already rotating a little bit. Once again, that just hubris in the top lane. Just staying a little too long in these fights and greeting for a little too much.
Now Volley's going to be able to have that grubs pressure there as well. Very, very good potential for him to have both objectives, but Hui very well could be pushing in this Orianna right now since she did have to back. It does not have TP up, but then neither does he, so very well could bounce back if she is trying to push it out again. But yeah, Viego looks like he's not going to try to contest the scrubs.
Sadly, it's just a little too difficult, a little too late. If you go in and then you get the last grub, they kind of can just look at and you waste a little bit of time. So trying to get that little bit of advantage, get that XP advantage, try to get 6, maybe look to make a play off that before Volibear is also able to mash and do the same.
Volley running mid here. I wonder if he is just there for scuttle or if he's going to try to look for a gank mid. Oh, he's playing pretty safe. Orion is walking down though.
See a lot of scrapping from the Set and Camille up here in the top lane, though.
Set does still have that XP advantage. Oh,
Ooh, yeah, that level 7 coming in is just very brutal for this Camille. And Set should have W up in just a few seconds to be able to do it, but it's very close. But the W does come up, but Camille dodges it with the R. Ooh, a little bit of outplay, but Set's able to walk away. No way for the Camille to re-engage. Set passive coming in, healing so much HP. Once those cooldowns are back up, Set may be able to just scrap this out. Camille can't get her passive back up. She's being zoned off from the wave. As we go back to the bot lane, we're going to engage with the Viego is going off right now. Hui is in the bot lane. Jinx was picked before this moment. We'll see Hui grabbing up the kill onto the Aphelios as we see Volibear coming up to save Camille from this top lane fight. And the kill does go back to Camille. Ooh, very unfortunate. Set was so close to getting that Camille earlier, but the Hextech ultimatum was just enough to dodge that W and barely survive the fight. It's still long enough for Volibear to come and get them out of that 6 situation.
Is that the name? Hextech Ultimatum?
Yes, that's Camille's ult. That's one of the 5 I know.
Huh. I feel like, you know, one of Oakland's issues so far this early game has been overstaying. I feel like, especially in the Set and the Viego here, their overstaying has led to some deaths and some objective losses for both.
Yeah, and definitely seeing the lengths that Storm's team is willing to go to stay a little bit longer to punish things. Kind of goes to show, like, hey, like they can't be greedy in this team. This team knows how to punish mistakes, and I mean that is kind of from the interview what they said is they're just going to look to punish mistakes is their main game plan, which kind of is how the game goes in general. But they're definitely just like waiting very hard to wait for mistakes because they know that they're not going to be punished as hard as they will punish them for theirs.
Patience is an important attribute in League. Let me tell you. The amount of League players who aren't patient is plentiful. So it's definitely a learned and practiced trait. So very valuable thing to be aware of, I'd say.
That's your free coaching lesson for today.
Be cool, be patient. And then you could
Ooh, we see the Viego flash stun coming out, going into this Volibear. The Set ult coming out with the Hui ult. We see the Volibear ult R going back in, get some health back, get something. Well, ooh, Viego not quite able to grab that reset. We'll see Hui and Set fighting together. It's 2 damage champions against 1 as Orion is trying to run away with the Rakan. But if they can grab some kind of fear, the Rakan is feared, has the W away, but is able to get out to safety. Rakan is very slippery. But now Lulu, knowing that Rakan is mid lane, is going full harass on this Aphelios, knowing that there is no safe, there is no backup for this ADC. They're going to get as much damage as they can and maybe look for a dive if they could team. Volibear and Rakan are moving back into the area to make sure this Aphelios will not be dove on this wave. Ooh, but it might be a little too late as they mentioned grab out and get the excited to run down the Rakan. Rakan dashes to the Volibear. Volibear is here, but Volibear does not have an R. Lulu does still have her R, so if they go for an engage, it probably will not go well in their favor. As Volibear instead now has to collect the bot wave as as Viego gets a little bit extra CS freely in this side lane. They have the CC, but they may not have the damage to fight anything here, so they wait for players to get back onto the map. We'll also rotate
right there. He saw his bot lane in trouble. He ran straight from base to come help as best as he could, and I mean, I appreciate that from a bot lane player, so just wanted to point that out.
It's definitely one of those
your bot
things
lane also appreciates it.
that separates, you know, the lower elo junglers from the higher ones. Just recognizing, like, hey, like, I know I want to get more gold, so I can do more, but if I don't come here now, like, this could get worse. And even though it was a little too late because if I did get picked out by that Jinx R's, if they weren't at that moment, they still wouldn't need to be there, so that fellas didn't have to sack a bunch of farm, and your bot lane wouldn't have to then become a weak point for your team the rest of the game.
Another dragon picked up here for HU Storm, too.
Engage coming out from the Jinx Lulu as well. Aphelios ult misses. Jinx does get it out for a bit of the poke. Rakan going for the engage, but misses Lulu just barely. The R still up, goes in. Volibear is here close to the bot lane, but Jinx may be able to pick up Rakan just in time. Not quite enough as they do get the engage in from the Lulu, but the Lulu ult does come out. Jinx is gigantic. They don't have the damage to take out Lulu or Jinx. Orion is here, though, and the shockwave comes out. Are they able to grab? Ooh, they do manage to grab the Jinx with the chakrams. Very unfortunate. Hui is in the bot side now, but Viego was top, looking to do something in this top lane. Hopefully they can dive Camille to get something back here. Actually, Set might just get the kill just like that. No help from Viego needed, as Viego can just take some top camps, and there should be Some more plays over to set. That might actually be the first turret in favor of Oakland, as Camille does not have TP. No one is here to cover, and Set is able to punch this turret down with 4 guppies worth of true damage going out onto that turret as well. We also can hear some cat in the background. You might be hearing my birds
I'm
now. They're starting to chatter
sorry.
quite a bit.
Hi, good morning. He's like, you're playing League and you're not yelling?
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
You're too happy for this game to be on your screen.
He does like to watch it sometimes, so we'll see. But yeah, I apologize for his loudness, but you know, that's just who he is. I hope y'all can accept him for as I accept him.
Yeah, I will
Hey,
say.
don't scratch my carpet though. We're trying to get our deposit back, okay?
You're not getting that back.
I'm cooked. Uh-oh. Not looking good for this bot lane here. Greeting for this turret plate. Let's see if they can get out though.
Yeah, a little much. They don't have TPs from their solo laners as well to get them out of the situation. Jinx is kind of running straight to them, trying to get the fastest route to this turret. We do see the polymorph and the R coming out. It might be enough to save. It is not enough to save the Jinx. That play did cost them their life. It may cost them the bot lane turret too. Was it worth it? We will see, but I highly doubt it.
I think they could have been really, really, safe there if Volley did not have ult there. I think they definitely could have been out because even though Oriana was walking down and she has ult, Lulu would have had a couple of resets, especially on her E. So
We do see the Hui ulti coming out. Viego going in, trying to get this reset. They do get the reset and the shutdown onto the Oriana. Jinx is back on map and should be getting the pick off on the Volibear here. That's a lot of resets going over to the favor of Oakland. This is really bad for Storm here, as Aphelios is trying to get out of this fight. We do see Viego going in very low, but they do manage to pick off the Aphelios right before he's able to finish off the Viego. And that is a lot of gold back in the favor of Oakland from that fight. They're actually up about 1.2k gold right now.
Fantastic example of capitalizing on the other team's mistakes, except going the other way. That time it was HU Storm that had kind of overstayed a little bit, even though I love their vision control. It did end up punishing them. They just waited too long. Jinx was able to come up. She was able to come back, get that Volibear kill. The rest of the team was able to rotate there. And they just again capitalized on that overstay.
Yeah, it's really well executed, and we'll see this Camille doing some dicey stuff to try to get this turret off from the Set. I don't think Set can quite catch them off, or actually they might be able to. Yeah, they are running on the inner part of the lane, so they can kind of cut them off. Stridebreaker is the bush, but Camille just wasn't hiding in there. They ran behind. Rakan is here, but so is Viego. Camille might be trapped. She uses the Hextech ultimatum to dash onto the Viego, but Set chases down with the ult, using the Rakan to their favor. But there's a TP coming in from the Hui as they go, and this fight is not over. But no one is falling. Viego just wants a reset. Rakan is getting so low. Set's trying to do everything they can to catch it up, but that is not a reset for the Viego, as Aphelios is even here. As all 5 of Storm in the top lane, but Jinx is pushing the mid turret. She is getting some free turret. If no one else gets picked out here, as the Shockwave missed from Oriana, they may be able to actually get a lot more gold from this fight than Storm will be getting, as they are able to find an out angle, and Jinx is able to grab that tier 1 turret. There is a TP coming in from behind the Jinx from the Camille. Camille is really good at locking down these ADCs. I'm sure many have seen it before where they're playing ADC and this Camille champ just runs up and one-shots you. But she does not have the Hextech ultimatum to lock Jinx down, so Jinx is able to get away and run back to safety of her turret. Camille is looking to chase and finish off, but she can't quite do it, and Lulu is here now to help save her ADC. We see Camille going once again, but now Lulu's shielding is here. Felios root coming in, but it actually is enough to snipe the Jinx under the turret. Viego is ulting in, trying to get out. Set is TPing in into the mid lane, but they're just too far away. I don't think Set can grab anyone here. If they go for Rakan, he's just going to dash away. Managed to get onto the Aphelios, actually. The TP move speed was quite a bit, and they did manage to trade ADC for ADC. But Oriana is the side lane. Camille is resetting. But we do see the Mountain Drag up, and that might just freely go over to Oakland, as Camille does have the reset on the map.
Not only that, but they have that mid pressure, kind of supporting them. They do have some vision on the Volibear as he's going into their topside jungle, so they can confidently do this without having to stress too much about having to go for some sort of what's it called? Smite fight?
Yeah.
Toss up.
No coin flip smite battles coming from this jungle, and we will see the dive executed on the way, even though they had the knowledge of these players being in the top side. So a little bit greed trying to hold this tier 2 turret. But maybe they want to keep this turret up. More important to, keep this control on the map. They have a little more safety. We see Set grabbing the tier 1 in the bot lane, Y up on this Camille. 2-level gap between these top laners. As we'll see, there is starting to get some more damage threat onto this Jinx, onto this Viego. They are able to get these resets in these fights, really showing the strength of their comp, getting these resets on these two characters. As well as, still narrow gold lead, but being able to stack these Mountain Drakes is actually really big for Oakland. One, so that the enemy team isn't more durable, but two, is keeping Jinx more durable from all these dive champs. It's actually really good. As we see set on the flank of the Aphelios, getting onto the set Rakan. This should be a dead Aphelios as they go in. Rakan trying to charm, trying to get out, but also falls to this Viego. That is 2 souls for Viego to grab if he so chooses, but that is 2 picks down for none on this mid lane. They're going to be able to siege. They are up 2k gold, and they may be able to get this tier 2 for free as well, as I don't think they have the damage, the ability to fight without getting some kind of angle on Jinx. But Jinx is in the safest spot to be right now to not be engaged. A set goes for the ult, goes for the W, deletes the Camille. A Volibear has to R flash out. We see Orianna trade back a kill on the no health set, but it should be the tier 2 falling over sometime soon. Actually, they do not have the waves, and Aphelios is back up. They might not be able to grab this turret, but that still is
Between
quite a huge fight.
I was gonna say
for
between
Oakland.
Jinx's low mana and the rest of the team's sort of mid to low health, just having a healthy full mana Orianna there to clear the wave and just apply that pressure has kept their tier 2 turret safe for another day.
Yeah, but we are seeing the strength of, these pairings. We're seeing the set with the Hui synergy. We're seeing the Viego with the Jinx synergy, just really showing just how strong these two pairings are together. And then even all combined, they're not bad as a full package as well. And Lulu's just there to be that insurance for those Jinx as well. More of a counter to what Storm picked than anything else extra with their team. But having that knock up on the engage or the defense and having that extra damage on the Jinx rockets is, nothing that hurts.
While there's a little bit of a lull here, I just want to remind everybody, hey, if you guys are enjoying yourself, consider donating a couple bucks to spread the love. Oh, let's see. Camille just gets away from that set, but yeah, 5, 10, $1 if you want. Or just simply spread the link, spread the word. Are doing this all for charity and fundraising, so uh-oh.
Ooh, we do see the Rakan engage with the Orianna going in. Lulu forced to ult herself. No one quite dying, but honestly, a very scary engagement. Viper almost getting picked out from it, actually. The Hui QW actually gets the snipe off, and Lulu gave a little bit of extra damage with picks to do that. Viego is on the flank, grabbing onto this Rakan. Can't quite finish off. But we now see just kind of how spread apart Storm is. They could not get that pick on the Jinx, which is really the main thing they need to win these fights. And now they're kind of looking to pick up scraps, see if they can catch anyone else out. Hui is kind of taking the first point, help this character, and they know, hey, they don't have the burst to take down Hui. We can kind of walk through whatever. Set is on the flank as well. This is actually going to look really, really dicey for Storm if they can get out of this angle. We do see Set on the angle, getting the R onto the Orianna, getting this damage out. Viego looking for the reset, getting the reset on the Orianna. And that might just be a Baron over to Oakland.
I think it is. They're definitely going to try for it, but I am a little nervous here. I mean, Viego, Jinx, Lulu, all of them are pretty low. Even Hui. Yeah, Camille is just going to dive in and attempt to assassinate their bot lane. Rakan finishing it off.
Yeah, we're now seeing the power of Viego just being able to grab these souls, just becoming Camille, getting more engage off. I mean, getting another reset, getting Rakan, getting more engage off, getting another reset. Now Aphelios getting even more damage off. It's just showing the power of getting these resets for this team. It's just so oppressive. Once you get that one reset, it's just over and over and over. Jinx gets excited. Viego just gets these souls and just keeps going back and forth with all these engaged champs too. All locked in their abilities. It's just you get so many ways to keep staying in these fights and keep getting these resets. Really just such a strong game for Viego. We'll see Orianna back here once again. We've seen Orianna make this whole plays before, but Hui shields the entirety of that shockwave ult as Viego goes to look to fully engage on this Orianna. But Camille is back. A little bit overstay on this Baron. The TPs were in play. They were able to get back onto this Baron and ensure that it is not taken. And a shutdown goes back to Orianna on this Viego. Really just everyone wants to take this Baron, but no one can lock it down. It's just a back and forth on this fight. And we will see the next drag coming up in not too long as Camille starts the Baron. But once again, there's TPs on the set and on the Hui. They may be able to look to contest this as well, but I don't think they have the TP wards to fight this Baron. We'll see. Actually, no, Set is opting for the TP. Jinx is getting the push to mid wave. They opt to collapse the set. A little coming out on the set. Big amount of damage going onto the Camille, but that physical shield does save her from the Jinx rocket. We'll see Jinx is stacking her lethal tempo safely. They can't take the Baron. Camille does need to reset. There are no more TPs in play, except for Hui. But Hui is already here at the fight as they start to take out this vision, start to regain control of this Baron Pit, and Drag is up, and looks like they're going to opt to take this Dragon after they've chased off Storm from this Baron and get the second Mount Drag up, get some more stats, get some more resistances for this Jinx, and get them a little closer to Soul, maybe get that shield and make it so it's even harder for Storm to pick this already hard to kill backline.
A little bit of a ping pong battle going on here between who has Baron pressure and who doesn't. So very interesting to see who will actually end up getting it, especially as you know, the HU Storm can't really capitalize on the fact that Oakland is taking the time to do Drake.
Yeah, just
Romeo
kind of
agrees.
nonstop back and forth. All those TPs just letting people come back in these fights a little more and just deny a little more. But we are seeing, a little bit, just getting some resources, stealing some jungle. Really, it's just Kid Beats motto. It's just I'm gonna take their jungle. Seems to be, the name of their game. Definitely, if we had some kind of stats to show, who took the most enemy camps, it's probably gonna be Kid Beats up there at the top.
I
If
think
not,
he definitely gets, most enemy camps taken this entire series. I'd put money on that for sure.
how much is that, and will it be donated if you win?
Unfortunately, I think I'm also the person that would have to go back and count all that. So, in the effort of preserving my sanity.
We are seeing the Rakan and Camille engage on the Hui. Hui is kind of beefy just from all the health and shielding they get from their abilities and from these mage items, but it's just not enough for how much damage Camille does. And that turret was just taking sweet time. But off of that engage in the bot lane, they are looking to collapse this Baron. They do have it pretty low, but Orianna Volibear is here. It is low. They have a control ward, but Volibear hops over the wall. Can they manage to grab the... the Baron went over to the Jinx, but is grabbed for Oakland. They managed to pick the Volibear. Excited Jinx, but we do see Aphelios and Camille sieging these bot mid turrets. They can't quite do anything with this Baron yet, but they're looking for these fights. Camille can't quite grab this bot turret. She looks for the out. We see Viego here in mid lane looking for some kind of engage. Lulu is on the flank. We see Viego go for a little poke in the Rakan. Can't quite lock him down. We'll see Set. They're all chasing. Will they be able to get an angle? They have a lot of move speed, a lot of ways to kite out. But we'll see Viego getting speed boost by the Viego. Set is here, movement speed towards champions with that Q. They're going for the stunning Aphelios. We see the flash coming out. They cannot lock down quite anyone. And it seems they all do get out. But now they have the entirety of Oakland grouped up in its mid lane with the Baron buffs. One bad team fight could be the end of the game for Storm.
Definitely not looking good, especially with that Baron pressure coming out. So even though HU Storm is up in turrets right now, I think, I guess it's about even. But I just look at, mid here, they still have an inhib turret, at least, which is better than Oakland. But it might not
But
be the case for
Volibear
very
is
long.
being engaged on by the Viego Jinx. Half their HP gone down pretty fast, just showing how quick they can melt the front line now. Kind of scary for Storm because Volibear is one of their main tickets into these fights. If they go down that fast, it's crazy. But we do see Camille getting some splash in top lane as Oakland looks to, siege this bot tier 2, sieges mid, uses Baron to kind of split double pressure and try to honestly outpush the Camille. Camille does have TP, so she can look for a flank on these fights. We will see Hui going for some poke as Set looks to just delete this turret in seconds with his Baron buff. But we do see that there is the address of the Camille in the top lane. She may just keep free splitting if they aren't able to force anything real soon. But there's kind of a timer on this play for Oakland. They need to make something happen. Or Camille may do some permanent damage if they can't actually end the game off this Baron push. We'll see a massive shockwave coming from the Orianna. Rakan follow-up going in. We do see the Lulu getting picked out, but we see Set doing so much damage at bet. Reset off on the Viego, on the backline, but is bursted out by this Orianna. Jinx is forced to reset onto this Camille as Hui is being chased down by the remainder of the team. Very well executed shockwave from Orianna there. Huge play. That might actually be game winning as Camille picks the Jinx. There's a wave in the base. I think that's actually just game right there.
I think this is it.
Oh my god.
The TP coming in from the Ori just to solidify this and help give a little more turret pressure here, I think.
Yeah, Lulu's up in 3 seconds. No one else will be up. That is the game. Ooh, that is unfortunate. Get a Baron, but then lose game into a split. Oh, we've all seen that before.
Oh, lived it.
And a very solid Shockwave ulti from Duckman PH. I have to say, the mid lane really just holding Storm together in these games. And is that all? Or do we is it a best of 5?
No, I think it's a best of 3. Yeah, it looks like teams have dispersed. Dang, don't even get a team to interview here, unfortunately, because both teams did have to start traveling home for the night. So we wanted to get our finals started a little earlier, but yeah.
If I realized it wasn't a best of five, I probably would have given a little more excitement there at the win. But congratulations to Storm. Really close out those games. Definitely feel like Oakland was giving them a run for their money for a while, but they definitely just found these fights that just ended the game. Like both games were just, hey, that fight was the end. Like that was it. It was like I kind of caught by surprise, honestly, with those fights because they just kind of exploded, and that was it. They just had the tempo, they had the wave, they had something set up to be the ending point of that game.
I know, and they were even.
Do we have an interview?
They're gone. They left.
Yeah, it appears they have all disappeared.
Oh, looks like they possibly might have an interview. So we'll still stick around. But yeah, I mean, especially in that second game, HE Storm even had, a gold disadvantage for, I feel like, from mid game on. Even at the end there, I feel like they still did not have that same, equal footing on gold. But just that one fight was able to turn it with that Camille pressure.
Yeah, no, both the Camille pressure and then also just getting the 4-man Oriana ult. It chunked out the entire team. They pick out the Lulu, and then, Viega trying to find the angle, get that reset off the return damage, but they weren't able to get what they needed to end it out. Just really unfortunate as everyone got picked. Jinx went back to try to solo Camille, but Camille just, you got a dive champion versus a single ADC. You just can't really fight that, and she gets picked out, and that just ends the game. It's really unfortunate.
Let's see. Seems like Chris is working on the back end to get us an interview here. But who would you say was, MVP for that?
For Storm, I really want to give it to the mid laner. I think they were the anchor for their team in both games. Even with like that split pressure from the Camille, I think just everything that was, gave those angles for Storm was the mid laner. I think they just kept it really, really solid and really in. But we are skipping the interviews. They've been playing nonstop for 12 hours, and people are tired and want to go to bed. I understand. I would be in the same spot, especially with how tense those last two games were and how dicey that last game felt at certain moments. I would have my nerves
100%.
pretty shot at that point.
Yeah, well, I'd agree. HU Storm's mid laner definitely was, the standout for me for both of those games, actually. Syndra definitely stole the show. Oriana a little more on the back burner, I'd say, but, still really orchestrated those team fights. But, yeah.
No, for sure. I'd say for Oakland, those games, I don't think a single player stands out. I think as a whole, they were pretty good all put together. And it really did feel like that the mid laner for Storm was really just the differing factor between the two teams. Just they were such a big standout in all those performances.
I'd agree. Yeah, for Oakland, I would go back and forth between, gosh.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
them.
hard to pick out any of them. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, points this most recent game specifically when, between Jinx and the jungler, just absolutely turning the tides for them. Like that, I feel like those two in particular were the reason that the mid game gold lead was really possible there. But I can't lie, set was pretty cool. So sorry, I'm a little biased.
The set and the Viega were also some of the people agree the most on the side of Oakwood too, though. So
that's also very true. But yeah, well, I was gonna say thank you here's Zokuma for joining me for casting League today.
I know it was a good time. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. And yeah, thank you for everybody who participated today on day 2. And thank you for sticking around. I think Justin and Chris are going to take it away just to talk a little bit about day 2 summary. But yeah, stay tuned because Ashuria's is having a day 2 stream for us, and that's always fun. So yeah, fun casting. Thanks for having me. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it was fun for sure.